Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dalrin and the PTR is finally available. And in this video I want to jump on PTR to showcase you guys some of the new talent and talent changes. Last time I talked about big Shaman updates, but here I can actually show them. Now I'm not here to show you DPS because I don't have a 120 Shaman just yet. I'm still in the process of leveling a bunch of characters, but between hanging out on my main rogue, trying to grind gear, trying to get my raids done, PvP stuff done, I don't really get a lot of time to play my alts that often, or I have to sacrifice time between my streams and videos in order to find times to play my alts. So this video is just going to showcase you guys changes to Shamans. If you're someone who's a Shaman main, feel free to come out and check out your DPS. You can actually test your damage right now with all the brand new changes and talents. You can actually go and try this stuff out, which I think is very exciting. So since PTR is available, let's take a look at everything we got for Shamans. So what is new? And at first I wanted to figure out like what is what's happening with the spec? Where is it heading? Where is it going? Just for this video, I think we are going to downgrade our gear to non-legendaries because I feel like it'll just muddy the experience and I don't want to be getting extra procs from any of my other abilities. So we're just going to downgrade and we just get like a passive trinket of some sort. I think that'll be the best. Yeah, let's just go with a Lego trinket there. Alright, so let's take a look at what's new. In the level 15 row, we got Earthen Rage. This ability got moved from, I believe, level 90 down to level 15. So now it's going to be a question of when your spells deal damage, you deal extra nature on top of that, get an Echo of Elements, or Elemental Blast. Elemental Blast also got to change so that it never will try to get you a same, bonus every single time it hits. So if it does get a mastery overload to it, where it has a chance to hit a second time, if it does hit second time, it'll always be a different stat. So I want to see if I can get it. So this time I got haste, and the problem with Shaman was I heard that mastery is not their best stat. So sometimes you would go for elemental blast and it would give you double mastery, and that was a pretty terrible trait. You could get double crit or double haste, but double mastery was the thing you didn't want to happen. Here I'm able, and I'm just going to hit a train dummy a couple times to see if I can get it to overload, and if it does give me two different stats, then that's going to be good. So this makes it so that the ability itself will always provide you two different buffs, so it's going to be a lot less likely you'll be able to get bad traits. So I got haste and crit when it does overload, so that's all depends on your mastery. So I think that's going to be good. I've heard that this is a good change, but I think Earthen Rage fits it here pretty well. It's just, hey, how do you want to deal damage? Do you want to just extra nature on top of whatever you do? 2 charges of lava burst and cooldown reduction or whatever, or elemental blast for potentially a bit more damage but also extra stats if you can overload. Alright, in some of the next rows, Master of Elements now can work with physical abilities. Casting lava burst increases the damage of your next physical spell. Now what does that even mean? Increases the damage of your next physical spell. Well, if you guys weren't aware, Earthquake is actually a physical ability. For the longest time, I thought with Shamans that this ability was a nature ability. I thought, oh, it's an earthquake. You know, there's a lot of rumbly, a lot of earth damage. But apparently it's a physical ability, so now when you cast Master of Elements, it can actually be empowered. So it can benefit it. Some people said it might actually be worth using it then for like AoE situations or single target, because now it has a lot more versatility. So I guess that's pretty cool. Besides that, let's see what else is new. Also, on top of that, the Shaman changes in terms of your Lava Burst and Flame Shock. So normally, as a Shaman, you have to cast Flame Shock ahead of time, and then you can Lava Burst to make sure the Lava Burst will be a guaranteed crit. Recently, they changed it a little bit. So now, let me just send one out. I'm gonna wait for a fresh new Lava Burst that I don't... Here we go. I don't want to have to insta-cast it, though. So if you end up casting a Lava Burst and then Flame Shock the enemy while Lava Burst is midair, it will still apply that 100% crit guarantee for Lava Burst. So it'll give Shamans a bit different, more punchy opener. Rather than open up with Flame Shock, you'll be able to open up with Lava Burst. This is mostly a PvE change, but I think it'll still be pretty minor, but still pretty good for PvP as well. Some of the other changes to the specialization are Call of Thunder. It is in a level 60 row, which is supposed to be like your AoE single target row. Liquid Magma can be used in single target, but has AoE potential. Storm Elemental can give you a lot of procs with the Chain Lightning back to back. The more you cast, the faster you get, kind of deal. And then the Call of Thunder. Your maximum Maelstrom is increased by 130. Maelstrom cost of your Earth Shock and Earthquake is reduced by 10, so this has potential for a bit of single target, but also a little bit of AoE or cleave. So I feel like it just fits better in the row. I don't know if this will be the best, but I think it'll be really cool in PvP with Elemental Attunement together when you're going for an Earth Fury proc wombo combo. You'll be able to store up about 180 Maelstrom, and it'll be a lot easier for you to Earth Shock, hit another Lava Burst, Earth Shock, maybe Aftershock procs back to back, so it'll be kind of cool. Then what we got at level 90, Surge of Power. Earth Shock also enhances your next spell. Flame Shock, the next cast does not incur a cooldown. Lightning Bolt, your next 3 casts cause an elemental overload. Lava Burst reduces the cooldown of your fire elemental by 6 seconds. Frost Shock freezes the target in place for 60 seconds. So I always want to see what this ability, and let's also get Stormkeeper too, because that has also got changed up a bit. I always want to see what this ability would work like. Was it going to be a after Earth Shock you get a random buff? Or does your next spell determine what buff you get kind of deal? So what I want to try here is just casting a bunch of lightning bolts at the enemy to get a lot more Maelstrom, so I can get a couple Earth Shocks, so I can try this stuff out. Because I want to see what this ability would look like and how it would function. So we have about, let's get a full bar of Maelstrom just in case. Cool. Now we're going to Earth Shock. So the next spell will be enhanced. So if I go for Flame Shock, oh, I can Flame Shock 2 targets now. That's awesome. Alright, let's work up a little bit more Maelstrom, just so we can see what this stuff is like. So if I do Lightning Bolt, next 3 casts will cause Elemental Overload. So let's pop it, and then Lightning Bolt. Oh, okay, so your spell will trigger the buff. So for Lightning Bolt, it doesn't consume the buff. Lightning Bolt will make the buff happen, so you can build up the Maelstrom back faster. Oh, that's awesome. Wow, that actually is really cool. And then let's say I summon my Elemental and I Earth Shock, and we go for a Lava Burst. You see the cooldown of the Elemental. I wonder if I can enable the abilities. I'm probably going to lose the buff. Show numbers on the cooldown. Alright, so you can kind of see like the Elemental. Yeah, I missed my buff for sure. Let's go for another Earth Shock. And I'm just going to Flame Shock 2 targets actually. We want to see how fast we can get our Flame Elemental back by playing this playstyle. So we're gonna go for an Earth Shock. And oh no, we couldn't. We actually cast Lightning Bolt, and while the Lightning Bolt was flying, we Earth Shocked, and it made that Lightning Bolt do stronger spell. Oh, I'm not sure if that was intended. But now we can see the Fire Elemental. Yeah, it does reduce it. A lot similar to what the Artifact Weapon used to do with one of your effects for each time you cast Lava Burst, the main cooldown on Fire Elementals by 6 seconds. That's the one. That is the one. But I do want to try this actually. I just noticed an interesting wombo combo. If I Earth Shock while I'm casting Lightning Bolt, that Lightning Bolt is technically midair and it auto procs Lightning Bolt proc. It does! What is this? Whoa! Next Lightning Bolt will overload cause additional. So if you are going to be casting, that actually is, that's messed up. Because that, I feel like you're going to be using your Lightning Bolt as a filler a lot, right? So now you basically have to stop, Earth Shock. Now you can get yourself a wombo combo for a spell. So that's a little bit awkward when you think about it, isn't it? Huh. Yeah, that's actually kind of awkward. At least for me, it's a little bit awkward. Alright. Yeah, so if you cast in Lightning Bolt, I feel like that could mess up someone's rotation so badly, especially when you have someone else in mind. I mean, if you're doing PvE, I feel like you will probably do your Lightning Bolt power up, but I don't know how often. And then, of course, we have the Frost Shock. It does root the target. Root it in place. That's pretty good. That's a root that doesn't break out damage too, so it's not quite like a like any of the other roots. That's really cool. So I feel like in PvP that'll be awesome to just root somebody down in place, and then you can just kind of hammer damage into them for a while. That would be really good for Shamans. Yeah, that would be awesome. Stormkeeper also has been beefed up, so it increases the damage of a lightning bolt by 250%. So your normal lightning bolts hit for how much? For me it's about 900, 900, 900, so 900. But when it crits, for Shamans, your crits are a little bit stronger, so my crits are about 2000 damage. So 900 and 2000, but if I cast myself Stormkeeper, 3000 non-crit, 8000 crit. Oh, that is so good. Wow. I mean, I'm also lower level, so for this level to do 8000 damage with a lightning bolt, that's insane. That's actually insane. Alright, also some of the other things Blizzard has done. They transferred a lot more damage to Lightning Bolt, right? So your Lightning Bolt should be doing a lot more damage, but they took some of the damage away from your Earthshock, so it wasn't like, you know, Lightning Bolt used just to tickle the enemy and then Earthshock to really slap them. Now Lightning Bolts actually have a little bit more damage to them and a little bit more of an oomph, and Earthshocks are gonna still do a lot of damage, but not nearly as much as, I guess, as they used to. Yeah, I get myself Lightning Bolt proc already. Look at that. So you can actually just sustain yourself this playstyle of Lightning Bolt and Earthshocks. Look at this. And then I can get a Lightning Bolt again, and then I'm always going to be able to get enough Maelstrom to get for an Earthshock. Like, look at this. And triple stack again, and my Maelstrom isn't going anywhere. Wow, this is actually a lot self-sustainable and plays with the Maelstrom a lot better. So we got ourselves an Overload proc too. What is it, Overload? Aftershock. That's what it was. An Aftershock proc. So yeah, that's kind of how the playstyle for Shamans is going to be. I'm actually kind of digging some of this talent interaction combo. I feel like if you're going to be running Call of Thunder, Aftershock becomes a little bit redundant, at least for PvE. At least that's what I'm seeing right now. For the level that I'm at, of course, I'm not going to have the best possible damage, and it's not going to scale the best, you know what I mean? But what if you go this? Lightning Bolt, so we can get a guarantee for additional overload. So triple overload. That is nuts. This combo with Surge of Power and Stormkeeper is gonna be insane. Triple overload, and it can all crit 250% more damage. So you have Stormkeeper, that's always going to be an overload, and then Surge of Power with the Lightning Bolt buff is going to give you a third one. So that's 3 Lightning Bolts for free if you run this combo. It's basically an artifact weapon back, and they all deal 250% more damage, and Lightning Bolts deal more damage overall. You can go with Armory for extra nature damage on top of that, Aftershock, Call of Thunder so you can use your Earthshocks more. I feel like that's going to change so much for Elemental Shamans. Because of the way that they were playing back on the beta, I'll be honest, I did not enjoy. I didn't like it. I thought it was a little bit slow. I thought it was a bit too much ramp up for like the Earthshocks, and then you can finally start doing damage. And to me, it felt that most of your damage came from your pet. Like you were summoning your pet, and then when he would really burst for you, and then you're like right there, you know, behind, just casting your little lightning bolts and Earthshocks from time to time, lava bursts here and there. But I feel like this gives back more to the power to the Shaman rather than have the pet do everything for me, and I really like that. Overall, wow, this is awesome. Surge of Power with Stormkeeper. Hold on, let me do this wombo combo again. Let's get ourselves an Earthshock, and we're gonna go for Stormkeeper just so we can get the most amount of damage. And imagine in PvP with Sky Fury Totem, right? So here we go. We're just gonna proc ourselves the Surge of Power. Bam. 3. Oh my god, and if those things crit, that actually could have just killed somebody. For my health at level 110, that was about half my health. That would have one-shot a player. That is awesome. Wow, this is amazing. I'm actually wondering if Lightning Bolt Earthshock interaction comes with, because of the overload. It might be because Lightning Bolt overloads and it technically counts into Earthshock. I'm pretty sure that wasn't intended by Blizzard, or maybe it was. But it just gives you this like cycle combo where you can just Lightning Bolt, Earthshock, Lightning Bolt, Earthshock, Lightning Bolt, Earthshock. This just makes it so self-sustainable. And wow, that's a pretty simple rotation. Like it's really even hard to weave in a like, let's say an Flame Shock, Lava Burst, because there's too much Maelstrom already, right? Because I have all these Lightning Bolts in there. Wait. Oh, I can have multiple bonuses. Oh, so you can have multiple different bonuses, so you can kind of juggle them. Oh, that's kind of cool, actually. Oh, so if I cast a Lava Burst, and while it's in midair, or Earthshock, it counts into that Fire Elemental back. Oh, that's so much potential for you to be able to get a lot of damage out. This is nutty. This is actually nutty. I'm impressed. I know I'm not a Shaman main, so like I don't know how much you know, how much my word will mean in this video, saying I'm impressed with Shaman changes. Because again, I'm not a Shaman main. I don't play this class regularly. I don't know where it's currently sitting at on damage. I just remember back in the beta that I didn't really enjoy where it was going. There was a good chunk of people that were like, "Oh, it's fine. Oh, it's totally good. Oh, it's so playable. Oh, it's." But I felt like compared to Legion, I was somebody who enjoyed Legion Shaman a little better. I didn't like WoD Shaman. I liked Mob Shaman. I liked Legion, but I didn't like BFA Shaman. And I really like this combo of abilities. I feel like there's at least playfulness between the talents. You can kind of come up with a build that works for you. And I think this is great. I think this is going to be I don't know if this is going to be good for Shamans or not, but from my first impressions, I like it. I think it seems fun, you know? I personally think it seems kind of fun. I feel like there's a lot more combos. I like how they make Master of Elements a little bit better. Like, it works with physical abilities. Like, first of all, why is Earthquake physical? Out of all the abilities, how is that not nature spell? But I guess it makes sense because, you know, earth trembling under your feet, I guess it's technically, you know, physical, but man, no, it made sense to me. I like these changes though, personally. I'm not a Shaman main, but it makes me want to play Shaman now. It makes me want to level 1 finally. But I only have 1 on EU, so maybe it'll be a good idea for me to kickstart my EU account again. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what your thoughts are about this video on Shamans and PTR. Feel free to get PTR right now and get your Shaman up and running right now. Copy a character over to test out some of the damage. I feel like these are some of the coolest talents I have ever seen so far. I'm very impressed with what Blizzard got going on. But anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see all of you in another video.